Lakeisha with What's Next. Gonna do a quick and easy version of chicken and rice. It's my simple spin on the recipe. Gonna use very easy ingredients that you'll probably find right around your house in your fridge or your pantry. Gonna use some white rice. You can use long grain or whatever you have available. Some chicken broth. Either cream of mushroom or cream of chicken soup. 1 can is all you'll need for this amount. Some Rotel or just the original diced tomatoes. And then just some chicken. So I went ahead and seasoned and diced up some chicken breast. You could use thighs or whatever you have available. And once you have all of that together, I'm gonna show you guys how to put it step by step and make it quick and easy to make you a meal of some creamy chicken and rice. I like to make extras whenever I'm cooking, so I'm gonna make approximately enough to feed 3 teenagers and 2 adults. So with that being said, I wanna make approximately 3 cups of rice, and then you can see I have a lot of chicken because we like a lot of meat when we're making food. It is going to take, usually when you do rice, you want to do half of the amount of dry rice that you want when it's cooked. So I'm going to do about 1.5 cups of dry rice, and I'm going to go ahead and take my large baking dish here, just a regular baking dish, and I'm going to pour my white rice that's dry into the bottom of there. I'm going to spread it around, and then I'm going to take double of that in my chicken broth. So I'm gonna take 3 cups of chicken broth. So I have a 2-cup liquid measurer here. So we're gonna do our 2 cups. We're gonna pour it on. And then I'm gonna take 1 more cup. Now, of course, you want to take that all into consideration with the amount that you are going to make. So if it's just 1 person, then you're going to change those measurements. So if you only want 1 cup of rice, then you want it in the end, once it's cooked, then you want to do a half a cup of rice dry so that because it'll double. And then of course you want to do that same amount with the broth. So you'd want 1 cup of broth to go with your half a cup of rice. So I know that kind of is a lot of math, and I'm not really a math person. So hopefully that helped figure it out for you. So I've got that in my dish. I need to grab a spoon. Let me grab a spoon real quick because I'm gonna open up the cream of mushroom. We're gonna put everything in our glass dish. And this is why it's quick and easy because, as you guys know, Lakeisha does everything quick and easy. I am not a chef by any means. I say this every time I do a recipe on here. I usually take things that I learned from my mom or from somebody that I know, and I just kind of make it my own. My husband is more of the cook, but he's always so busy, so. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of run that around, and the cream of mushroom or cream of chicken, whichever you decide, is really just to make it creamy. So if you want a lower calorie or low fat option, you could use yogurt or sour cream. You could use like a no fat or low fat sour cream or yogurt. That's a really good option too. Unfortunately, I'm not really worried about the low fat right now, but you could definitely do that. So I'm gonna put the chicken in, and I've cut it in like large chunks. If you want to adjust the time in the oven, you could probably have bigger pieces. If you want whole pieces, then you could probably cook it a little bit longer or at a little bit higher temp than I'm gonna tell you to cook this. So make sure you use a big enough dish for everything you're putting in because it's gonna get pretty full with all of the liquid and everything. Okay, so my dish is pretty full, but I still have my Rotel. I'm gonna grab my can opener. No, I'm old school. Johnny always says I need to use the new can openers, the fancy ones with like, you know, they automatically cut it for you and everything. Sorry guys, this girl here is still old school, and I want the 98-cent can opener from Walmart because I like to do it myself. I don't open that many cans. Most of the cans have the pull tab, so I'm not that fancy. So I'm gonna drain all of my liquid out of my tomatoes or Rotel, whatever you choose. If you like it spicy, get the spicy one. I just get the regular original one, but they do make a spicy, so you could always get that. And I'm just gonna put that on the top. Now I do have seasoning on my chicken too, so you can always choose what kind of seasoning you want on your chicken. I just did what I season all of my meat with, and that's just my own personal seasoning, what I grew up with, like the seasoned salt, the pepper, the garlic. But you could choose whatever seasoning you like. That's your control. When I do these little recipes, it's more just to help, because I know what it's like to be a regular person, not a gourmet chef, but a regular person who has to cook food for people and for myself, and who has to go to work. So I just do these quick and easies because it helps me, and I figure why not record it because it might help somebody else. So that's the whole point of this. It's not to make it so that you have to follow me exactly. So anyways, everything's in the dish already. Rotel is on top, chicken's in there, cream of chicken can. I told you could use mushroom, you could use yogurt, you could use sour cream instead if you want to. You can adjust the amounts according to how big of a portion you want. I'm doing the whole shebang, the whole glass dish, but this is gonna feed like a lot of people, a whole family. Chicken broth, you could use the low sodium if you have somebody who has high blood pressure, or if you just don't want all of the sodium. You can adjust the amount of rice. You could probably even use brown rice. So there's so many adjustments. This is not set in stone, so you guys can make it work for you. I'm going to use a temperature of 375. If you want it to cook slower, you could use a lower temperature. If you want bigger pieces of chicken, you could probably use a higher temperature. So again, this is just a guide, and it's just meant to be quick and easy. So make it work for you guys. So I'm gonna set my oven now for 375. 375 is what I'm using, and because I cut my chicken into smaller chunks, it's not gonna take a super long time to cook. So I'm gonna preheat it. It usually takes about 5 minutes or so, and then I am going to cook it for about 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna check on it. So as soon as this is done cooking, we're gonna come back, and as soon as it's finished, we get the best part, and that's the taste test. So look guys, that was so super fast, right? Okay guys, so we're back and we've got it out the oven. Looks so delicious. Everything baked nice and even. You can see how the chicken just kind of broke up inside. The rice is nice and soft. It soaked up that chicken broth really well. And you got the creaminess from that cream of chicken soup. So worked out really well. You saw how easy it was. We just threw it all together in that glass dish. You got lots of options, so you can change out if you've got someone with that blood pressure issue, or if you just don't want the high sodium, you can use that low sodium broth. You can also change out your cream of chicken, or just use the low fat yogurt or sour cream. I'll make sure to put everything that I used in the comments below. However, one thing, I did actually leave it in because I made a big portion. So I left it in the oven just a little bit longer than I thought. I thought it was only gonna be about 30 minutes on 375. I still did leave it on 375, but I left it in just shy of 40 minutes. So I'll make a note of that too, but you adjust according to how much you decide to make. I'm gonna go ahead, I've got a spoonful that I put on my plate, so I'm gonna taste it. Let's get some of the chicken, some of that rice in here. And I used a lot of chicken because I really like to have a lot of meat in my food. So, oh, this rice is really, really soft. That's really good. So you could add, oh my gosh, you could add a lot of different flavors into here. You don't have to stick with what I did, even though it's delicious. I could taste cheese in here. You could definitely put cheese. You could even spice it up even more if you want it to be more like a Spanish dish. Maybe a little heat, some jalapenos. You could even season your chicken completely different, make it more like an Italian dish. There's lots of options, but you guys saw how easy and quick this was, and that's what I always go for. So if you want to keep it like this, do that. Add in throw in some cheese, whatever you want to do. But with this Rotel, it gives it a lot of flavor, and the just basic seasonings I used on the chicken, it gave it a lot of flavor too. So this is really good, and I am excited to go ahead and eat. And I know after everyone eats, I'm gonna have leftovers, so I'm excited about that too. But again, it was literally a little less than 40 minutes in the oven and maybe like 10 minutes to prepare everything. So another quick and easy from Lakeisha with what's next. Thank you guys for joining me and putting up with my craziness. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Take care.